Kickstarter is like the more people who actually fund this project, the better it will be. So of course there will be perks for those of you who actually back it. We still don't have any announcements for those perks, but you guys will know soon enough. What's up?
Hello.
Hey.
I have two questions, I guess. First of all, will it be like based on the old Postal 2, or is it gonna be on a newer engine?
It's gonna be on a new engine.
Read the news.
Oops. Well, there you go. One question per person. But yeah, it will be a new engine. It's not gonna be Unreal 2 or whatever version of Unreal 2 it is, because that's an old engine, and in order to get it on consoles or fucking even Windows 11, which is problematic these days, that's not gonna happen. Choco dudes.
All right, so I'm gonna ask like two questions. All right,
sure.
The first question is, will be there like all three voice actors, like Rick Hunter, Corey Cruz, and John?
No. This is Postal 2. That's it.
All right, so Rick Hunter then. And the second question, will be there like any new weapons?
Don't count on it.
Yeah, this is Postal 2, man. We're not making a new game.
All right. Then.
That doesn't mean there won't be a couple unique new things that come, but it's not. We're not reinventing the wheel here.
Yeah, at its core, it's still going to be Postal 2 without its glory, and anything else that's added, it will be down to how good the actual campaign goes. The better it goes, the more stuff you'll get. Wolfie, get on stage.
So, are there any plans for like workshop support? Kind of like how Left 4 Dead 2 has its own workshop for its PC support, but not for their console? Or no?
Why would you have workshop support for console?
I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool. That's all.
There will be workshop support on Steam.
Yeah. We just like Postal 4, we are planning for workshop support on Steam. No news about consoles. We don't have we didn't announce anything related to a mod hub on consoles. Right now we can only guarantee mods for PC. Heavy Berry, get on stage. Get on stage. Hey.
Thank you for having me. Two questions, if that's all right.
Sure.
Firstly, you mentioned console, so that's like PlayStation, but would that include Nintendo, specifically the Switch 2, in like maybe normal the first Switch, but obviously it's a bit underpowered. Any plans for that, if you can say them?
I mean, we hope so, but the plans mean nothing until the game's submitted and approved. So,
yeah, because right now the queue for the Switch 2 is very tight. They're just allowing like the big guns right now, and with indie developers like us, it's not that easy. So it will take a while until we can confirm something. Right now, it's not possible to confirm it.
Understandable. And second, would you for console, because if not, it would only be available on PC. Would you consider selling like Eternal Damnation, A Very Happy Night, A Very Postal Christmas, or high quality mods as DLC with permission of the authors for console players? Because without that, they would have no way of playing them.
Well,
no idea.
Those would need to be, completely remade from scratch on the new engine and on the new game. So the chances of that happening are very slim, very unlikely, unless of course somebody actually does it. But then again, consoles, it's a complicated thing. It's not like PC where anything can be done mod-wise. With consoles, it's just a lot more restricted. You were saying something, Mike?
I was just saying I wouldn't sit around and plan on this.
Yeah, very unlikely.
If Eternal
Uh,
Damnation isn't on Steam right now, I wouldn't sit around and plan for it to be on Postal 2 Redux.
Yeah, pretty much. Same with the Corkscrew rules and other expansions that are just not there yet, or at all.
Yeah, like our own DLC, like Apocalypse Weekend and Paradise Lost, like those may happen, but yeah, not
But that
not at
will,
launch either.
yeah, that will depend entirely on how well the campaign goes. That's why it's so important for you guys to, not only support it but also show it to other people who might be interested. And again, just like any other Kickstarter campaign, the better it is, the more stuff you'll get. Hombre de Nieve, get on stage. What's up?
How you guys doing today?
Doing all right. Thanks for asking.
All right, so I have one question. You guys mentioned like Apocalypse Weekend and Paradise Lost coming out like stretch goals, basically, right?
Yeah. I mean, we only mentioned that as a possibility. We haven't confirmed that yet.
Okay, so could we see Pigeon Missions finally as a stretch goal? Like, could we finally get those?
I mean, we could discuss that, but no guarantees, of course. We'll make it a
All right.
$1 billion stretch goal, maybe.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you guys so much.
All right, thank you, man. Choco Dude, get on stage.
Oh, I forgot to ask one more question. What about Gary Coleman since he's dead?
I mean, we recorded his lines, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
He's immortal now.
Whoa.
Like, not only does he live in our hearts, he also lives in Postal 2. So we got his voice lines, and he's part of Postal 2. So, yeah. Microwavable.
All right. I'm pretty sure someone's already asked this, but are all the models going to be remade from scratch, or will you guys use the original models?
I'm not 100% clear on exactly what's going to go into this, but I'm guessing most of it's going to be remade, if not just brought in and fixed up. I mean, this is not a port, so
Yeah. The idea is to have it as faithful as possible, naturally. But, some things have not aged that well. So naturally they'll get remade. But we are
yeah,
not
and
yet.
you can't really just bring shitty old models into a new engine. Like, I mean, it's possible, but they look like crap. So
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we can, we just we would get shit on for that.
and there's
Yeah.
going to be a lot more models anyway. So
Yeah, definitely. Heavy Berry. Heavy Berry, you there?
Hello again. Hello.
Hello.
All right. What about physical gaming? I don't know if it'll be like a goal to reach on the Kickstarter, but are you guys open to like physical releases for PlayStation and Nintendo, presuming they release there?
Well, I think it's safe to assume, considering that we have physical media for a lot of our games right now, pretty much all of them, that will have some form of tiers for physical media. Which ones, what will it include and exactly how it's going to be, that's something that we haven't announced yet. But we will let you guys know on the Kickstarter page when it's ready. If anybody else still has questions, feel free to request to join the stage. Oh, there we go. We got 2 more. Again, microwavable scissors.
All right. This is actually going to be my last question for today.
Sure.
Will there be a setting to reuse the old models for lower end devices?
no.
Like, okay, like lower. I was asking like
No.
lower NPCs could use the old models, or maybe have an option for retro for like the sense of nostalgia. But
No.
I mean, it's no longer 2004, 2003. It's time to move on. And yeah, so I am really excited for what you guys are gonna make for this.
Thank you. It's gonna be with Team Beef and Flat2VR. They're gonna be, the main guys working on this project. Of course, we're not like some other companies that would just go, yeah, so we have this remake or remaster, and we're gonna delist the original. We're not gonna do that. It's still gonna be there. It's still gonna be the same price. So if anybody wants to experience the originals, you still can do that. But of course, a lot of the things like specific models that are super outdated, they're not gonna translate to the new project. Max Payne.
Hello. So I wasn't here for all of it. I just actually joined in, but I wanted to ask, would you guys be bringing it to like PS4 and Xbox, like slightly older consoles as well, or is it just like PS5, One S, and like Switch 2?
Well, they're all possible. It's just not. We don't know for sure. I
Especially
mean,
with the
it sure as
Xbox.
shit ain't coming to really old consoles, but it's possible last gen's consoles.
Yeah, especially Xbox, considering the issues we've had with getting
Well,
our games
Xbox
on
requires
Xbox.
it, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hold your breath on an Xbox release anyway. But yeah, for Xbox, you have to be on all their, all their generation consoles, whereas you can put it out for PS5 and not PS4. So
Yeah, which it goes back to the whole saying, like, we can only guarantee so much, and with Xbox it's very hard to guarantee anything because we've been trying since at least 2017 to get our games there, and it's not been a possibility. It's not on us. We hear your requests every single day. It's just not possible because Microsoft does not want our games on their platform.
but hopefully that
Shoku.
changes.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Do you
Hey.
remember Do you remember Share the Pain? Are you gonna do like absolutely nothing about it in the future?
No guarantees. Any form of multiplayer is very complicated. We are going to
I
be,
will say this: Flat to VR does want multiplayer. We hope it happens.
yeah, but that's literally the only thing we can do. We can only hope. We are,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's possible it'll be a stretch goal too. So
yeah, we are very cautious about making promises because we promised it for Postal 4, and even though we did deliver, it wasn't without a lot of effort, a lot of shortcuts, and it is available. Just it takes a lot more effort than just dragging some files and there you go. So yeah, we'll be very cautious about mentioning co-op. KG, welcome to stage.
Okay, hello? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Alright, don't know if this was already asked yet, but difficulty settings. Is it gonna have the same difficulties in, like, ROG, Postal 2, and Redux?
I'm assuming they're gonna use the same difficulty settings. Yes.
Alright.
It's most likely. If it was part of the original, it's most likely gonna be there. Simon.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I wanted to ask, what will the hardware requirements be, and how much will the game cost?
Those questions we still don't have the answer for yet.
Oh,
It's
well,
it's still a game in development, so we don't have hardware requirements yet. And as for the price, we'll have an announcement on the tier list soon this summer.
at least can you like presume?
No, but you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can tell you something. It won't be $80 for
It
a
won't be
normal.
$80 and it's not fucking free.
Yeah, it's definitely not free if you bought Postal 2, because as you can possibly imagine, a lot of people bought it for $1, and these things require a lot of money to develop. So, Heavy Berry, welcome back. Heavy Berry, welcome back.
Hi
I
again.
heard myself twice there.
Do you have an idea of what resolution and frame rate you're going to target for this for this remake?
I mean, probably as high as it will go. You go for the
50
best and you
FPS.
see what happens, but I'm guessing it's gonna run at 60 frames. But this is not fucking Cyberpunk or GTA 6. Yeah.
30,
Yeah.
30, 60, 15 frames per second.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what we're going for, yes.
Oh, I'm
we
kidding.
on PC, it's gonna be a lot easier. On consoles, you'll have the performance modes and all that stuff. So we'll keep you
For
posted.
VR, it might change as well. We will see.
Yeah. Microwavable scissors, welcome back.
All right. Any ideas for like collaborations with other games, like you guys did with Hatred almost 10 years ago?
Not currently, no.
All right. Might I try and suggest one, if that's any
If you
interest?
say Dead by Daylight, we know.
It's not gonna. Oh no, I wasn't thinking Dead by Daylight. Of all games I thought of, I was thinking. Of all games, I thought of Limbus Company.
I don't even know that one.
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell that is.
Matt, do you know that one?
Nope.
I hear it's actually a pretty good game.
Okay. Okay. Florida Man.
You've heard?
69.
You've heard it's a good game?
Well, I just heard these guys saying it's a good game, so.
No, he said
I
he
think-
heard it.
No,
So
I
we
think the
heard
most
that
likely
he
thing-
heard.
The most likely things. No, I was gonna say the most likely things we might end up doing, because that would be the easiest for us, would be like an Easter egg to Postal Brain Damage with Postal 4. But other games we don't know at the moment.
Yeah. Hey there.
So are you guys going to be doing work on the soundtrack and stuff for this release of Postal 2, or is it just going to be generally the same as it was back in 2003?
Good question, actually.
It's probably going to be very similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
And back to that topic about the crossovers, I doubt it would ever happen, but it'd be cool to see it in Pro Skater or Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, well, that's you can keep dreaming on that one.
Yeah.
Well, without announcing too much, we did reach out to a mod team for a game, and we'll have more news soon. It's nothing like official. It's still a mod for a game, but we'll let you guys know soon. Rod, get on stage.
Hi. Hi. My
Hello.
question is, okay, my bad. My question is, will there be like Mad Cow My J?
Well, that's an Apocalypse Weekend, so if there's Apocalypse Weekend, then yes.
All right, that's cool.
Yep. Just like we said before, the expansions, any extra, like Paradise Lost, all of that, that's only if the campaign does really well, and you guys will find out what will be the stretch goals. We'll let you know this summer, and then you'll find out if we're actually gonna include those or not in the long run.
All right. Any ideas for like holiday stuff, like in the base game?
Not a bad
That's
question, actually.
That's hoped for, but yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
gonna be
So
similar.
like like December, Christmas shit, and Valentine's shit, and all that good stuff.
Yes, we know
For
that,
as much
but,
as possible
we
in
hope
the
so.
game.
Yeah.
But the Kickstarter will, like, depending on how the Kickstarter do, it will like change a lot of things, obviously.
Yeah. Probably not at launch, maybe with an update. And then again, all of these details, that's the kind of stuff that will inform you this summer.
Yeah.
Florida man.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. So if the ball ever does really get rolling and this, starts to really take off, do you think we'll see a roadmap for the future?
I'm not sure.
Likely.
Maybe there would be a Steam post, maybe detailing, and most likely on the Kickstarter. But at the moment, no idea.
Well, the
Yeah, I mean,
Kickstarter is.
If
Go ahead.
if this does well, they're gonna milk the fuck out of it. So probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it really needs to do well. Like, you guys, if you want the best game possible, you have to tell your friends and say, hey, there's this like childhood game of mine. Like, this shit needs to be really good. Can you guys also support it? And then that's where the ball gets rolling. And that's where we can start making promises from there. Usually the Kickstarter pages have this like stretch goal map, and that's pretty much a roadmap if you think about it. It's just you only unlock stuff the higher the funds, so it will depend a lot on how much it does. Choco dude.
All right. 2 more questions before I stop asking. All right.
Sure.
If Postal 2 Redux gonna release for Switch 2, is the Switch 2 Joy-Con mouse gonna work?
That's the idea.
Nice. And one more question before I stop. I ran out of ideas getting questions. All right. Is Uncle Dave back?
Of course.
Yeah, Uncle Dave is back. Uncle Dave is back.
Okay. He's on in the main story, so why the hell not?
Everything that's in the main game, we're gonna carry over.
Yeah, same story.
Will there be more Easter eggs? That's really all I want to know.
No guarantees.
All right.
No guarantees
that's
on that one. All right. Any of you have any other questions? Feel free to raise your hand.
Will Mike J be bold in the game?
Oh, actually, that's a good question. Will we see the return of skinhead Mike J?
I hope not.
He will twerk if you piss on him. He will.
If I might inquire about the development of this, how long have you had this planned for? Like, was it as soon as the VR game was approved, or when did you approve this?
Long before the VR game was announced.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because no matter what, we have to rebuild the game. There's no other way around it. So it would have to be rebuilt even without the VR function on it. So.
Postal 4 was originally going to be Postal 2x2, and it was going to be a remake of Postal 2. Until we realize, it's probably just easier if we make a new game out of this, and that's where Postal 4 was born. So it's been in our thought process for a while. It's not a new thing. It's something that we've wanted for the longest time, especially with a lot of people asking pretty much every single week. And one of the things that we were very excited about was to finally tell you guys that yes, we have heard your stuff, and this is the culmination of all your requests over the years. Bleeding, welcome back.
Will there be vehicles, like drivable cars?
No.
Oh.
What the fuck about a remake of Postal 2 makes you think there'd be cars?
God, it's like in Postal 4, man. Come
No, that's not a remake. It's a new game, dog.
I know. Oh, crap. Well,
it's a small map. With Postal 4, you got a big map. You need vehicles. Postal 2, not so much. Oasis.
Hi. I was just wondering, will Postal 2 Redux look like Postal 4 almost?
No.
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 No. There you go. That's a
But it will look better than Postal 2. So that's
Yeah.
already that.
It'll look better than probably even Postal Redux.
Well, for sure. I would hope so.
All right. Those were some nice questions. You guys want to wrap up, or do we have time for more questions? Actually, we do have more. Just one more, at least.
I'll do a question or two. I got a shower though, so.
Oh, you stink.
Can I see?
I just wanted to ask, is there anything you guys are personally excited for in the new game?
Yes.
Mike J not being bald.
Oh, I think that's a downside.
That is a downside.
How
I
a
would
Sorgan
say.
twin? That's kind of fucked up, Mike.
Don't fucking talk about my hair.
I don't know. I think it's very retro to have Skinhead Mike J in the game. Darfoodie.
Hey, what's up? So I was wondering how much percentage-wise or just ballpark range, how much more money did you guys make from Postal 2 when you added mod support? And how much more money do you guys think you'll make from Postal 4 once the workshop is added?
Postal 2 had mod support at launch.
Yeah.
Older Unreal was significantly easier to do mod support for.
All right, so how about with Steam Workshop? How much more money do you think you guys made with Steam Workshop included?
About 350.
All right, come on, man.
There's
Postal
no way
3
to
from your
quantify
website.
that,
Answer my
dude.
question, Mike.
I can't quantify that. That's like an impossible question to answer.
It's also difficult to answer because the Steam release itself was a big deal. It's the reason why we're still here. I mean, one of the major reasons, at least, because it was a lot more available than ever before. So it's hard to say that it's because of the Steam Workshop or not, since it was at launch. So can we say that it was a big deal also because of Workshop? Yes, absolutely. Because the modding community is also the reason why Postal 2 is so good these days, because it wasn't just us, it was also the modding community that some of them became developers for our company. And you guys keeping pumping mods is something that we will always appreciate, unlike certain other companies. But yeah, it is a big deal. We just don't know if that was what got Postal 2 to its numbers at the time. Either.
Also, I mean, also if we can add mod
It-
support to like our games, they can be supported for a longer time, and that's always good. So
Exactly.
This will be my final question. Obviously, some like Gary Coleman won't be redubbed, but will Mike and perhaps even Vince redo their lines for this remake, along with some other nameless NPCs, or will it just be the original voice lines put over to the new game?
I mean, most of it will probably be the old stuff.
yeah, if some stuff is way too old and you can notice it, or like unusable, they will probably or like they don't have the files or it's corrupted, they will probably redo it. But I think it will be fine with most of the old stuff.
Yeah, and it's also part of the charm.
Yeah, yeah.
See, it's kind of like MGS Delta.
Yeah.
Hey there.
Hi.
You just have to find the right
considering-
balance.
Yeah.
Sorry. Considering that Postal 2, and Postal 3 are kind of banned or censored in Germany and other countries, like how is your outlook for that for Postal 2 Redux?
There is no outlook for it currently. Making a Redux does not change the index status at all.
Yep.
Just like Postal Redux is not indexed itself, but because Postal 1 is indexed, Postal Redux is part of the index. So it's just the way it is. We can try, and we have a law firm that will take care of it, but I wouldn't hold your breath. No.
This is something I usually tell people who live in those countries like Australia and Germany, if somehow the game is available in your country and it's uncensored and all that, buy it immediately. Don't even think about it, because sometimes it takes a while until they get banned or they get a rating that just fucks everything up. You should get it while it's available. Never wait if you live in one of those countries where media is removed or downright censored. Just get it while you can. Local dudes.
Okay, this is my last question before I leave. Will the gore be better
Then
than 2, or will it just be improved generally?
I mean,
it depends on your
better.
expectations.
My expectations is just minorly better than 2, I guess.
Everything will be minorly better than 2.
Okay, yeah, that answers my question.
At the very least. Once again, going back to the whole thing of if it gets more funds, it will be better.
All right, I have 2 questions. Mike J, do you use conditioner? Because your hair looks a little dandruffy. Or is that salt and pepper? And number 2, so what goalposts will you guys add some sort of modding system to VR? Also, I don't know anything about VR and mods, so if I'm asking about VR and if there's mods to be added and that's not possible, then I'm a complete fucking idiot.
First off, it's dried up jizz in my hair, so it's human conditioner. And I have no idea about the second part. I wasn't listening.
Ah, fuck. Well, I accidentally call again. I'll bring you up. There you go. Okay.
People are asking what that squeaking is. I own 2 birds.
So
ask about the mod support for the game.
Oh, again.
Like, what's a goalpost? Like, at what point will you guys be like, all right, we could add some sort of modding to this? I don't know anything about VR, and if you could add mods, so I might sound like
mods
a
are
complete
happening.
idiot. The VR?
Yes, there's going to be workshop for VR and for Redux.
On Steam.
Okay, thank you.
Thrift, welcome to the stage.
All right, my question is gonna be simple, but I don't know if it was answered already because I missed some of it. Will Dude and other characters gonna have new model designs, or are they gonna be move models from the original game?
I think this has been answered before, but we're gonna do a bit of both.
Yeah.
More leaning on the remake generally, but keeping in the same style as PC. So it's kind of how you remember it looking, basically.
All right, I gotta
Imagine. Okay. See you.
Keep pretending to answer people's questions like we have all the answers.
Course. Yeah. We'll be here until midnight. Still going to that question. Imagine GTA Definitive Edition without having anything to do with GTA Definitive Edition. So without sucking, basically.
It's like imagine that, but still keeping like P2's photo real style.
Basically, without them looking like The Sims. KG, welcome back.
Hello. This will probably be my final question. What do you all think is the hardest part about doing this? Like, what do you think will be the hardest part about making Redux?
Keeping the atmosphere and not changing the game too much.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you guys noticed on the trailer, but you heard that very distinct sound that we use for some of the ambience. That is, one major aspect about the original game, like that those sounds, that feeling of being in a weird, desolate town, all of that is hard to translate to a remake.
Making everybody happy, because people
Yeah.
will never be fully happy with remakes, like compared to the original. So,
But then again, that's why I usually say, for those who don't want a remake, for those who just want, the original, just play the original, because unlike other companies, we still have it available in case you want it. But yeah, the idea is to translate as much as possible to the new game, to make it one-to-one, no bullshit, just the same game, just better visuals.
And the good thing is like we'll be able to release it on new systems because we cannot do that with the old one.
Okay, I have a question about the pricing of like both Redux and VR. What is the estimated price of the when it comes out?
We don't. You cut out a bit there, but I can tell you that the estimation is not something that would be accurate at the moment. The only thing that we can guarantee is that there will be more news this summer, and we'll keep you posted about the tier list for Kickstarter, and then we'll have the base price after the Kickstarter campaign, and then you'll know. But for now, we don't have any news about that. Pekron.
I've got 2 questions.
Sure.
So, will the animations be improved, and will a Postal 3 Redux ever get made?
No to the second one, unless some. Actually, no. There's a yes to the second one. There is a Postal 3 version being made by fans, and it's pretty much done on the Postal 2 engine. It's a mod for Postal 2. You can. I don't know if it's available right now or not, but they're working on it. I've seen it. It looks great.
There is a demo available on the Steam Workshop. That's the 2007 test level.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the Postal 3 that we should have gotten, kind of. I mean, there's still the same, issue with what's it called? That system. It's at the tip of my tongue right now, but I forgot the name of it. That system, if you're good or bad. What's the name of that?
Karma system?
Yes, that. There's still that for those who don't like it. It's still there, but it's still, a better Postal 3 essentially, because it actually uses Postal 2 as a base, so you get a better game out there. But yeah, we're not going to do anything official with Postal 3, nothing at all. We don't really own it. It's a gray area thing. Nothing we can do about it. Sherbert.
Hello.
Hey.
So I know Postal 2 has a lot of like offensive humor and shit. That's why it was banned in so many countries. Is the remake gonna keep the same humor, or are you gonna turn it down a little? Just curious.
We are trying to keep as much as we can. Like
Yeah.
literally, like we want the game to be 1-to-1 if possible, like on everything, like story related, humor, audio, all of that. But if they tell us we have to remove stuff to be able to put it on like consoles and stuff, we might have to remove some stuff.
Yeah, the only issue will really be consoles, but it will not affect the PC version. PC version will be uncensored. It will be the same story, the same Al Qaeda stuff. It's still gonna have all of that. Consoles are a different situation, and it's completely not up to us. It might not change at all, but we cannot ever guarantee anything when it comes to consoles. Meg, what's up?
So, will there be Rampage mode like in Postal Redux?
No guarantees. It was something that was added for Postal Redux and for Postal 4 in a way, but it's not something that was in the original Postal 2. So maybe as a stretch goal. Who knows?
For now, we just want to have at least all the base stuff that was in Postal 2 in the new one. Like that would already be great. After we will see if we can add more stuff.
Yeah. JD Cornuto.
You know that's not my name.
I do know. JD.
This is shut up. Okay, this is a question primarily from people in the chat. They're asking if there's going to be any animations regarding Champ, like petting animations or anything like that.
We could push that. We could push that.
That's no big deal.
Because it was something that we added to Postal 4. So, maybe we could push them to add that to the list of new features. It shouldn't be too hard, so maybe. most likely. Heavy Berry.
Hi. It just occurred to me. Why does there seem to be an emerging pattern where you guys in Hyperstrange seem to announce projects very close to each other, like Postal Brain Damage in 4, and now it's Postal Brain Damage DLC and the Postal 2 remake? Do you guys
It's just a
plan this in
coincidence.
Hyperstrange, or is it just a coincidence?
It's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
Also, like we talk to Hyperstrange all the time. We are like constantly like in talk with them. So even if we wanted, we could do it. But right now, it's more like of a coincidence.
Yeah, it's mostly a coincidence, but also, summertime, it's time to announce games. So we had a lot of things to announce. We still have a few other things to announce, a few surprises. But yeah, usually during the summer, that's the best time to do it. Oh, that's a familiar face, Drake.
Hey, will the game feature an unmistakable AK-47? And just congratulations on the announcement, and I wish you the best with these projects, and hope they go smooth and stuff. So, yeah.
Thank
Very
you.
cool.
Thank you. Your support means a lot. Yeah, pretty much to answer your question, every weapon that was originally in the game, it will be included. And by original game, I mean the non-expansion ones. The expansion ones will depend highly on how well the Kickstarter does. And who knows, maybe we'll include a few more that weren't in either the expansion or the base game. So, keep a lookout for that.
Will there be an open world mode like GTA? Like
Yes.
every spot open?
Yeah. It's Postal 2 without the load zones. At least that's what we're aiming for. Pavomba.
Hi there.
Hey.
So, why Unreal? Why Unity instead of Unreal 4 or 5 like Postal 4?
It's easier for VR games.
Yeah.
Will be there a flat screen version available?
This is the flat screen version.
So to make it very clear, so there's Postal 2 VR, which is made by Flat2 VR and Team Beef, and made by the same two teams. You'll have Postal 2 Redux. So these are two different projects, and to make it easier, and also because we don't have unlimited funds, they will be developing these in tandem, which means that all the development that goes into VR will also go onto Redux, and it's easier to do it under a system that they know rather than Unreal. We are better with Unreal, but they are better with Unity, so that was the pick for this project. Also because Unreal 5, it is not the best game for open world games. The best engine for open world games, so that was another reason.
At least for that. We'll have to see if The Witcher 4 can change things, but
We
we'll
shall
see what
see.
the future holds.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey there. Hey there.
I wanted to ask if there would be multiplayer, whether it be split screen or online co-op or share the pain.
That will depend on how well the Kickstarter does. It's not a guarantee right now. This is what we said before, which is we are very cautious about announcing something like co-op. We wish we didn't do it to Postal 4, and since we like to keep our word, we ended up having to do it because we promised it, or at least at the very least we mentioned it. So since we mentioned it, it would be very bad of us. We're not AAA companies who lie to their customers, so we ended up having to deliver it, and we did. But it's not something that we are going to guarantee. They want to do it. That's something that they have showed interest, so there's a big chance it will be available. But then again, it's never 100% guarantee.
When is there going to be more news on Postal 4? And I know that you guys keep getting questions nonstop, but is Workshop going to be sometime this year? And also, what are your guys' opinions on people still parroting the same opinions on Postal 4, even though the game has been updated a cajillion times?
So Postal 4 is still getting actively updated, and we got an update 2 months ago, or 1 month and a half or so. We have an update coming very soon, also on the beta branch, which should fix a lot of issues that people were having in co-op, and a few other quality of life things. It should also fix some settings that were not saving. A bunch of, it's a big update. What was your second question? Sorry.
What are your guys' opinions on people still repeating the same opinions from like dog shit YouTubers about how Postal 4 has, this and that glitch, it hasn't been updated? Like, what are your guys' opinions?
Yes.
And do you think there should be something that should be done in order to stop that kind of misinformation from the fans, or what are your opinions?
There's no
Well-
way around it. We'll just keep replying to them that we are updating the game. Like, we're working on the game every day, like same as like for the last 7 years, and we're still updating it like every day. So
Well, recently I had to explain to someone who posted a link to a bug that has been fixed for at least a year now. And it's one of many cases of people, expressing, their unhappiness with the game, but at the same time they haven't played in years after we pushed so many fixes. What we usually tell people is just play the game. If it is still problematic to you, please let us know, because a lot of reviews, they don't explain the specific issues they're having. And usually, everybody has the right to express that they don't like the game. That's perfectly fine. But when you don't explain the issues, there's nothing we can do about it. So it is a review, sure, but it's not a review that's going to be helpful to us to actually improve upon what we already have. So if people can just, tell us their issues and actually try the game as it is right now, that's perfect. That if it's still not good for them, we understand, we're still working on it, but we want to work with the community. We want people to actually tell us what their issues are. We want to try to work them and see if we can give them the product that they paid for. That's ultimately our goal here. It's to give you guys something that you can actually call a Postal game. Some people believe it's a good Postal game, some others don't. We're trying actively. And the one thing that people have said is, oh, you guys are releasing Postal 2 Redux without even finishing Postal 4. None of our games are finished, really. Postal 2 is not a finished game. We have been updating after all these years, after 2 decades. It's not something that we just say, yeah, we're done now. Of course, some are more finished than others. Of course, Postal 4, we admittedly have made some mistakes, which we are currently, trying to fix right now. But that's not to say that we are going to stop now, okay? Even though we are a small team at the end of the day, so things take time.
Two questions. Do you have any have you discussed a native Linux version of Postal 2 Redux, or will it be through Steam Proton? And for Postal 2 Redux, would you consider collaborating with popular influencers in this community, like a Buff Wizard comes to mind? He's pretty popular. Civi, he appeared in Postal 4. So do you have any plans for that type of stuff?
We love Buff Wizard.
yeah,
we love Buff Wizard.
He comes on the podcast. We talk to him regularly. So
yeah. Sorry, what was your first question again?
Do you have any plans for a native Linux version, or will you just use Steam Proton?
Most likely Steam Proton, but then again, we'll need to have a solution for those who have the game on GOG. But then again, it's very early right now to mention system requirements. But I can guarantee you, like Sim Proton does wonders. It would be insane not to take advantage of that. And of course, we'll try to make sure that the game works fine on a Steam Deck or whatever comes next at this point, because we still don't know exactly a release date for the project. As for collaborations with our, with YouTubers and stuff, we'll see. We love Buff Wizard, we love CV. They're really good content creators. I think it would be a disservice if we didn't actually try to do something with them in the long run. But yeah, Backrun.
Will there be more voice acting or more high quality voice acting?
Some of it will stay the same. Imagine MGS Delta. But there will be some cases where the voice acting isn't that great, or the voice acting is the sound quality is outdated. So we'll definitely have to update those, or at least add more. There's always a chance for that. We still have Rick Hunter on board for anything that we need. I mean, he's worked on Postal Brain Damage and Postal 4, so we still have him on board if we need something specifically for the Postal dude. As for NPCs, we'll see. Crunchy.
That's me. So
JD
there's a
Pudding?
couple questions I'm getting from people in the chat. This one kind of already, but somebody asked, Blue Beep Borp, Bop, whatever the fuck. They asked, will some Postal 4 features or weapons in the new Redux, I'm guessing, are there going to be features from 4 or weapons from 4 or inspired by 4 going to be in the game?
Like reloading, for example?
Perhaps?
I would defend that Postal 4, for all its flaws, it has the best gunplay of all Postal games. I will always defend that. As for reloading,
no.
Maybe for the VR version, not guaranteed. But, I would say at least, as a default, it will not be in Postal 2 Redux, because that's not the way gunplay used to work for Postal 2. And since this is more a faithful thing than an actual full remake, it's most likely gonna be how it was back then. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I thought you only had one.
Well, maybe you should listen better because I said more than one.
Well, I guess you'll have to spank me then.
Later. But anyway, the same person was also asking, unused content or beta stuff, will that be revisited? There's a couple more questions after that.
It's not a bad question. Actually, one of the things that people really liked about Dead Rising Remake, well, one of the very few things people liked about Dead Rising Remake was that they actually brought back some beta stuff. So, I mean, we can push it. If we see that there was some cool stuff that never made the cut, I guess we can try and push it. But then again, no guarantees.
Got another cosmetic question, and this is regarding outfits for Postal Dude. Will there be any other outfits that y'all know of, or is that something maybe later to come?
Maybe.
He will only be fully nude in this one.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
with a
nice.
sister circle.
I think that would please a lot of fans.
Unfortunately.
True. There's another one from someone just named Postal Dude. They asked, will the police change? Because why did I get beat to death with batons for sticking my middle finger up? But I guess it's just, is there going to be a change to the police AI?
I mean, it's America, isn't it?
That's true.
He's ginger. People don't like gingers.
Yeah, they should be outlawed in my professional
They are
opinion.
gingerphobic, so yeah, it
Mhm.
usually leads to that.
And they also asked about cheats. Just in
Yeah,
general.
absolutely. I would say that guaranteed, like the original cheats will be there, and most likely some others will be added.
Yeah, and we might most likely will have a system similar to the one in Postal 4 because that would be probably easier.
Yeah,
Alright.
and the Flat 2 VR and Team Beef team, they know Postal 2. It's we didn't get like some randos who don't know about our stuff. They actually know our stuff, so it is good to work with them. Same way it was good to work with Magic Pixel because those were actually fans of our our content. So they didn't go in blind, and it's going to be the same way with these two teams.
I believe that's it for now. If you guys have any more questions for the text chat, just ping me in the chat and I'll ask for you.
Thank you for gathering all those questions for them. Hydrated Gasling, what's up?
I mainly have one main question. Like with Postal 4, will there be multiple dude voices you can choose from, or is it just going to be Rick Hunter?
Just Rick Hunter. Making multiple voices for Postal 4 was absurd. It was very difficult. Because we didn't at the time when we started developing Postal 4, we had Rick Hunter available until we didn't. And then it became a necessity. Like we needed a new voice actor. So we got John St. John, who was, also a really good Postal dude. Naturally, people kept asking, hey, what about Rick Hunter? And we kept telling them Rick Hunter is not available anymore. He was at the start. Then he became available again. So we decided, let's add him since it was a no-brainer. People wanted him. As much of a great job that John St. John did, it would be insane of us not to, try to get Rick Hunter as a voice actor. So we did. And then we thought, while we have Corey Cruz and while we have a good relationship with Zach Ward, let's also add them into the game. This was a big task. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like something that's very easy, but it really wasn't. It was very fucking hard. We'll likely not do that again. But hey, stretch goals are a thing. So if we end up agreeing to such stretch goals, then who knows? But then again, it goes down to how well the Kickstarter campaign does. Bleeding Blasphemy?
Will the gun models be changed or like improved from Postal 2?
Visuals or
Like general models, mostly.
Visuals, yes. Behavior most likely will remain the same.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Text Beast. .bmp.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yep. Barely though.
My question was same as the other person. It's about the voice actor of the protagonist, Postal Dude. The map. My question is now, the map will gonna be bigger or same? The map.
Same size.
The map will
so-
gonna be bigger or small or
okay.
same.
So you're asking if the map will be bigger or the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same
It
size,
will be
as far as I know.
yeah, same size, just better details. It's going to be 1-to-1. In terms of size, it's going to be the same. In terms of detail, expect a very faithful remake. It's not going to be like, turning dicks into sausages. It's going to be better, but it's going to be the same size. Because that's another thing that we learned with Postal 4 was adding a big map was a terrible idea, and we don't want to make that mistake again. Okay, I think that's all the questions for today, right? Oh, we got 2 more. Okay, we'll answer a few more and then we'll wrap it up.
Will you have alternative languages like Russian or French? And for the initial release, will you, even if there's no DLC, will you include the Osama bin Laden's secret lair behind the trailer?
So when you say languages, you mean the dubs or do you mean just subtitles?
I guess both.
Subtitles, I would say it's guaranteed. Dubs is most likely no. Most likely. It's a big task, just like adding the multiple voices for the Postal Dude. As for the layer behind the Postal Dude's RV, probably. Most likely, even. All right, the final questions from
All right.
JD.
That's JD Cornuto to you.
Yes.
But somebody was asking if there's going to be new stuff, and I believe that's already answered. There's going to be new stuff added to Redux. But they were asking if there's going to be any new missions as well.
Unlikely. Unless the campaign does so well and we make a lot of sales afterwards, that would justify us making not only the expansions that we already have, which are Apocalypse Weekend and Paradise Lost, but who knows, if it does really well, maybe we'll do more. Maybe we'll tie in the events between Postal 2 and 4. Who knows?
Nice.
Maybe 1 and 2.
Maybe
in like 1,000 years.
And then I have another question from Bleeding Blasphemy. They asked, will they add 3 new barrels in one section of the map, like in Siege X?
I mean, we will have.
Rainbow Six
No,
Siege?
I see. They are making jokes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The maps will be a lot more detailed. Like we've seen how it looks, and there's a lot more props and stuff. Like some interiors that were very empty before, they would have a lot more going on inside them. So, like the environments will be a lot more detailed compared to before.
I would say if you need a really good comparison, compare it to Metal Gear Delta. In terms of keeping the story the same, but making everything else beautiful. And sometimes, in some cases, some work done on voice acting that is needed, whenever is needed.
And Heavy Berry, I believe that question is already answered. It was they're asking about the Postal Paradise Lost DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to.
Oh, wait. Do a week before Paradise DLC?
You already have. It's called Postal 1.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
What? What's that question?
It's called
Confused
The First Day at Work on a Sunday.
On Sunday?
I assume
Yeah,
we're not
because
going to do a prequel DLC just because.
I mean, when the Postal got fired, he said, "Oh, I just started yesterday," but yesterday is a fucking Sunday, which makes no sense. But still, I mean,
Are you talking about like the weekend, the Apocalypse Weekend?
Or the day before the Apocalypse Weekend, Friday.
Whoa, holy
Whoa.
shit, bro!
Holy fuck!
I'll just assume it's like before Monday, but
yeah. What we can guarantee for sure is Monday to Friday. If again, you guys really need to promote this shit with us. We are a very small team with not a lot of funds for marketing. If you guys can help us, the game will be a lot better. That's as much, just like any Kickstarter project. The more eyes on this project, the better.
Be as annoying as you can be, please.
Be very obnoxious, even if you can.
GoFundMe paid. No, there's a Kickstarter.
No, it's a
Bleeding
yeah.
Blasphemy. I can get you the link for it.
Yep. All right. We can answer 2 more questions from Rod and Heavyberry, and that's it. We'll keep you here, JD Cornuto.
Mwah.
Rod. Rod.
I don't think you.
Okay, there you go.
Bro, yeah, will I be able to play this on my 2DS?
On the what now? On the 3DS?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Fuck out of here.
Get out of here. Heavyberry. What's up?
Before Paradise DLC, we get to see the Postal dude and his lovely wife before they hated each other. And he could be like, it would be great. He does mundane house chores and he does a different job, completely unrelated to anything Vince Desi.
A postal worker.
Yes, it'd be amazing. And we'll get
Postal
to see
worker
some
simulator.
very essential lore about the Postal dude. How did he get his wife to fall in love with him? Because that's been asked ever since Postal 2 came out. Obviously.
Drugs.
Please consider it if you make enough money from this. A week before
Okay.
Paradise.
We'll consider. Bandy, the final question. Just one more. Make it count, because this will be the last question.
Okay,
If
I
it is,
just
go
want to ask, are the arcade games and running with Sir's headquarters gonna be playable?
well, they weren't available in the original version of the game, and they were only, if I recall correctly, they were only playable through the A Week in Paradise mod. So no guarantees there. I know which one you're talking about. Who knows? No guarantees. All right, so that should be it for today. I hope you guys are excited. The Kickstarter link is pinned in the Postal to Redux channel. Tell your friends, tell your mamas, tell your... Wait, that's not how it goes. Tell your mama, tell your sister, tell your...
For God's sake, don't let us make a pizza.
I fucked up. And your sister too, there you go. That's what I was
that
missing.
Corn song. That was actually a cover. Like,
Yeah.
That was a cover.
I didn't know for a few years, yeah.
You didn't freak. But yeah,
I
be
hate it.
annoying. Be annoying
Yeah, be
as
very
possible.
annoying.
Please.
Very.
We want this. We all want this.
I want this to be good, and so do you.
Word up.
Up,
My Kickstarter.
All right, misbehave, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Wee.
Get out.